Okay, continuing on from that last live stream, we have, and just the same one on Facebook, we have this sludge, this darkness, this gunk from the second chakra, and we can take all this stuff that wants to be expressed, not need to experience it individually, not need to see it in collective expression. And this gunk that we have, all the gunk of the second chakra, all the gunk of not feeling worthy, not feeling whole, not having well being, not having enough support, not having enough sensual energy, all the gunk you took out of the second chakra individually and collectively, it's allowed to be expressed. You can love it, but you don't need to experience it directly. Set it on the fiction rack. One of the beautiful things that fiction can do to serve us in this world is allow energy to be expressed in this reality so we don't have to feel it in our immediate reality. And for those of you tuning in, if I look up, I'm looking at my Instagram phone, or if I look down, I'm looking at my Facebook live stream computer, working on a better setup, but thanks for bearing with me with it. So as you consider shifting these energies, as you consider replacing these energies, if we don't want to experience them, but they need to be expressed, that energy needs to move through human consciousness, that's where fiction comes in. That's where movies, that's where books, that's where poetry come in. So collectively, esoterically, we can help move this energy out of our system, move any emotions out of our system. If the exercises I've given earlier to transmute emotions and traumas and story, if those don't work, one of the things we can do is take these energies and express them, not through suffering in our own life and our own reactions, but through fiction. But as a whole, what we want to see is a collective shift from needing to directly experience a second chakra with all this gunk in it, to just a simple wiping away of saying, okay, energy, you're gross, I'm pulling you out of the second chakra, pulling you out of myself, out of global expression, compressing you, putting you in, a little garbage can, conveyor belt. Apollo, take them away to another space, to another world, to another representation. So for those of you just tuning in or tuning in recently, in the first video, or in Facebook, the first half of the video, we went through each chakra on a personal healing, opening, shifting activation. We talked about each in a way that could shift and improve and enhance the world at a global scale. And we walked through a few exercises, walked through some theory, mentioned some science. So as always, just comment below if you'd like a link to my magical science and I can share it with you. I'd rather just teach and talk about the high level practical exercises and their effects. So before we wind down here, I just wanted to offer that I'll be doing this again tomorrow to cover the next 5 chakras. And as I cover the next 5 or last 7 chakras, there's going to be a few things that are different. There's going to be more exercises. Hey, everybody. There's going to be more exercises where you shift into different states and shift consciousness and energy. And my level of transmission will change as well. I apologize. I was planning on channeling Apollo. I did bring in that energy several times, but because I was working on setting up my live stream and wanting to start on time, I don't feel I fully prepared with the meditations and prayers I needed to channel properly and authentically, which is why, unlike in my Krishna and Thoth channelings, you didn't hear me say, I am Apollo, and my voice didn't change, and you maybe felt I might have been coming a bit more from mind. And so that was just, I wanted to serve more people and a greater audience. I didn't accurately know how long it would take to figure things out, so I'm sorry for that. I do feel that the content was of a decent quality and a good quality. And in me being honest and open and sharing this with you, for you growing on your spiritual journey, for you growing in your magical journey, in your life journey, realizing that while you might have a high bar of something you aim for, even if you get to 95%, if you still give value, if you still get in a habit, if you still learn more factors, then you're moving more towards your higher goal. So a battle of an individual event is different from a war, to use non-ideal analogies, but just big picture analogies. So if the big picture is to walk in divine embodiment, and a stepping stone to that is to have planned divine embodiment, like a channeling, and then a step below that is to reach divine embodiment in meditation, and then so on and so on. The more you go up each step, the more you can do it more often. You wire those neurons, and you understand what you need to do to prepare along with everything else. So If you're just tuning in, I recommend watching this video or on Instagram, the first video from the beginning. There's a lot of rich stuff there. If you have any questions or requests, please post them as comments, and I will do my best to make sure they're covered tomorrow. Likely tomorrow will also be starting at 8 p.m. Pacific, and so bookmark your calendar for that. Thank you so much for signing up and for showing up. And for those of you who are newer to what I provide, I'm just going to end with a little bit of a background about myself and where areas where you can learn more through the materials I've provided. But the general workshop for this is completing. And Justine, my pleasure. It's such an honor to be of service. I really appreciate you as well. Much love.